Hello, friends. In this lesson, your students are going to be working on estimating sums and differences. All right, we're going to have this same standard for quite some time, actually throughout this whole unit. May have it memorized by this point that we get to the end of the unit. Math, grade 3, number sense and operation. The standard is to add and subtract multi-digit whole numbers, build an understanding of multiplication and division operations. The benchmark is 2.1, add and subtract multi-digit whole numbers, including using a standard algorithm with procedural fluency. Let's look at a question that maybe you could open with. Tom's sunflower grew to a height of 586 centimeters, while Emily's sunflower grew to a height of 113 centimeters. How much taller is Tom's sunflower than Emily's sunflower? Well, they're asked to estimate the difference. So an estimate, it's close to the exact difference. There's two ways that we're presenting students to estimate sums and digits of these 3-digit numbers. First of all, to take the numbers and round them to the nearest 10. So we have 586 minus 113. So if we round it to the nearest 10, we would have 590 minus 110, which would give us 480 centimeters. Make sure students get in the habit of writing that unit of measure as the answer to their question. Okay, now that's just a method. Is I say round to the nearest 10, but it could be any rounding. They could use the method of rounding. So maybe we said, okay, well, we're going to round to the nearest 100 and make it 600 minus 100. So we would get 500 centimeters. Okay, we're not, again, not looking for one set answer. What we're looking for students to do is justify how they found their estimate. So the second method is to use a compatible number. A compatible number is a number that's close to a number, but it's easy to work with. So if we were rounding this, we would round it up to 590, but maybe we say, all right, well, I know fives are easy to work with. So maybe we say, you know what, I just want to, or even ending in 0. So maybe I want to make this 580 minus 110 because those are easy numbers to work with. They're close to these numbers. So in this case, the difference would be 470 centimeters. So that may be how they choose to do it. So again, the key is that they can explain which method they're choosing, why they chose that. Now, why is estimating sums and differences important? Well, first of all, estimating is one of the most important things that we can instill in our students for later on in the real world. I estimate every day of my life. When I might estimate the number of calories that I'm intaking in a day, or estimate what my bill is going to be when I go to a restaurant. But for your students, it's so important to talk with them, ask them this question, because the importance here is that later in this unit, we're going to be finding exact sums and differences. So it's important for them to have an estimate in their mind so that then they can check and see, is my answer reasonable? Very good math practice that we're wanting to instill in our students. Okay, there are a lot of word problems, so this might be a good section to work on. There's a math language routine called the 3-read protocol or research phrase protocol that is fantastic for helping students break down the word problem. So this might be, since the content is a little bit easier, I think it might be a great time to focus on a protocol like this. So what you do is you have 3 reads, hence the name. The first read, the teacher reads the problem stem orally. So you would read it out loud. And then you ask the question, what's the situation about? Who or what is involved? What is the situation? Like in the one up here, well, it's about Tom and Emily. It's about their sunflowers. It's about how tall their sunflowers are. It's about Tom's sunflower being taller than Emily's sunflower. Just having them talk about what the problem is about. Now, for the second read, the partners can read it together, or you might choose for an individual to read it out loud for the whole class. In the second read, we're looking at, okay, well, what are the important numbers or quantities? What do these numbers represent? What information is given? So in this one, again, we're not yet identifying what the solution is. But in this one, we'd say, well, we've got the number 586 centimeters. That's the height of Tom's sunflower. And again, you're writing these things down on the board as the students come up with them. We know that Emily's sunflower is 113 centimeters. What else is something we know? We know that Tom's sunflower is taller than Emily's sunflower. So those are some things that the students might come up with for what are the important numbers and quantities. Now, the third read, this time you do a class choral read of the problem. Now we're asking the question, well, what is this problem wanting me to find or solve? What operation will I use? How will I use the information given to find the answer? So it's asking me to find how much taller Tom's flower is than Emily. It's going to use subtraction. And it's going to be the operation. I'm going to use those two values to find the answer. So it's a wonderful research-based strategy to put in place that then when students are working independently, they can do this process themselves and read through it the 3 times thinking, what is the problem about? The first read, the second read, what do we know? And the third read, what are we trying to find out? All right, friends, I hope that you and your students enjoy this lesson. We'll see you in the next one.